Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, we take a look at the 1 hour chart of Bitcoin. The price is currently doing what it's supposed to be doing. Let's see if it will stop in resistance. Bear in mind what we talked about in the previous videos. We did talk about the idea that Bitcoin topped here probably in a B wave. At least that is the current assumption, which is currently being tested, of course. In this B wave, we might have topped and we could already be coming down in this C wave, which would be a 5-wave move. Could take us into the region around 22 and 24K in the coming weeks and maybe months, depending on how much longer Bitcoin really wants to stay in this range. So that's the main thesis. This is valid as long as the price obviously does not break above this B wave high, which was made at around basically 30K. Okay, so this was the level, basically 30K. As long as we stay below that level, this assumption is valid because the move down seemed impulsive in a wave 1, circle wave 1 of wave C. We might have completed already circle wave 2 as we headed into our resistance area. We saw a rejection where we needed to see it. Price came down in, I explained it to you yesterday already in the last video, possibly wave 1 of circle wave 3. Okay, so wave 3 is also a 5-wave move. It might have been here wave 1 of circle wave 3. And I basically gave you an idea that we could now be moving up in a corrective rally in wave 2 of circle wave 3. And this wave 2 is probably playing out. I gave you a resistance and target area for that one yesterday. We made a slightly lower low since then, but only in 3 waves. So I assume that this was just a B wave. You can see that here. You can also argue if wave 1 finished here, that's fine as well, but it doesn't really change resistance. So we can also leave it where it is. And yeah, resistance is now up to 28,820. That's the 78.6 retracement level of the move to the downside yesterday. If the move down was a wave 1, then this corrective rally is currently a wave 2. As I said, wave 2 of circle wave 3 could still comfortably move a little higher. And if we don't see any reaction in this resistance area, then what we simply do is we have to simply assume then that circle wave 2 is still unfolding. This would be the next likely scenario. So that basically it was never finished, that this is just a much more complex correction and resistance is all the way up to $29,500 again. So obviously, as I said, the yellow wave count is valid as long as we stay below this 30K level. But there are certain Fibonacci retracement levels and resistances that we use to test this thesis and to test this wave count. And if they start to break to the upside, then it will reduce the likelihood of the yellow wave count. But yeah, main resistance is 29,500. Really above that level, this imminent downside move will get less likely, and it will become very likely that we will break the 30K level to the upside. That is not automatically bullish. If we zoom out a little bit, what we need really to say that something more bullish is unfolding, we need clear 5 waves in the white wave count. The white wave count could take us to around about 31, 32K in 5 waves. It's not what I'm primarily watching for. But because Bitcoin is holding so well up here, we have to consider it. And if we get 5 waves up and they are clear, then we can watch for a 3-wave pullback afterwards. 5 up, 3 down for a long trade setup. At the moment, we don't really have a reliable long trade setup on this time frame. Okay, I don't see it. There just isn't one because the movement to the upside is very, very choppy. I mean, again, you can trade anything. The question is it the most likely scenario? We are also quite far away from support now. So, we've seen it several times, for example, on the ETH chart, that ETH touched the fib level down here, which is on the Bitcoin chart basically 25,320. So you can see how far Bitcoin and Ethereum are from each other on the chart. So of course, if we get closer to support, we have to expect another bounce possibly, because it will be unlikely that we go down straight away, in a straight line. But does that mean, we have a clear setup that will take us to 40 to 50K with a high likelihood? And that's the difference. As soon as I have a reliable long trade setup, I will let you know. In the meantime, the short trade setups seem to work out. They are still not really being followed through, but we have rejections and resistances where we need them to have, where we need to have them. And what I would like to see next is that in the move to the downside, we take out, first of all, these previous swing lows. That would be confirmation that this wave 3 to the downside is being followed. That is at around 28,130. And then we also need to take out circle wave 1, which is at 27,670. These levels need to be taken out to increase the probabilities for the yellow wave count. I will keep you updated. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you're interested in daily updates about the S&P 500 as well as selected stocks, check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. Link is in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.